Ginger Fox Cartoons presents Toola the Otter and the Surprise in the Sea by Alicia Andreas, read by Heather King. Toola the Otter lived all by herself in a cozy kelp bed by the sea. She loved floating on her back, cracking shells with rocks, and watching the clouds dance above. One sunny morning, Toola was out searching for her favorite breakfast, fat, tasty clams. She dove under the waves, wriggled through the seaweed, and found a shiny one. "Perfect!" Toola squeaked. But just as she was about to grab it, she heard a strange sound coming from a nearby coral reef. It sounded like someone's crying. Toola's confused. It wasn't a clam. It wasn't an octopus. It wasn't a jellyfish. It wasn't a shell. It was a tiny, fluffy otter pup. "Where did you come from?" whispered Toola. She looked around. No mama otter in sight. Only waves, sea stars, and swaying kelp. Toola cradled the tiny pup in her arms. He was so small, so soft. "You must be all alone," she said softly. Toola looked around again. Still no sign of a mama otter. No scent in the water. No distant calls. "Where is your mama?" she whispered. Then Toola remembered what she had heard from the wise old sea lion once. Sometimes big waves carry things away, or boats frighten otter families apart. Maybe his mama had been looking for food, just like Toola was, and gotten swept away by a sudden current. Perhaps she was still searching now, somewhere beyond the reef. Toola didn't know, but she knew what it felt like to be left behind. "I was all alone once too," she murmured, "but not anymore. I'll take care of you." The baby otter hiccuped again, then sneezed, "Achoo!" and curled into her chest like he belonged there. Toola decided to name him Oola because it rhymed with her name and because he made a funny "ooh, ooh" sound when he sneezed. From that day on, Toola and Oola were inseparable. Each morning, they floated on the ocean waves, noses to the sky, watching seagulls fly by. Sometimes Toola would point out the shapes in the clouds. "See that one, Oola? It looks like a crab wearing sunglasses." Toola taught Oola to dive and find the fattest clams hiding under the sand. "Wiggle, sniff, snap," she'd chant, and Oola would echo, "Wiggle, sniff, snap," before proudly holding up his catch. Some days they visited the coral reef where Oola had first appeared. There, they played hide and seek among the anemones and danced with swaying jellyfish, always careful not to get too close. Other days, they followed the tide to explore new coves and secret grottos. In one dark cave, they discovered glowing algae that shimmered like stars. Toola sang sea songs as they floated through the glow, and Oola hummed along, his eyes wide with wonder. They met all sorts of ocean creatures, chatty crabs, sleepy sea cucumbers, and even a grumpy octopus named Inkbert, who pretended not to like visitors, but always saved them a spot on his favorite rock. At night, they'd return to their kelp raft, paw in paw. Toola would wrap kelp around them, both like a blanket. She'd sing softly, "Toola and Oola, two otters, one heart." And Oola would snuggle close, letting the rhythm of the waves rock him to sleep. One calm afternoon, as Toola and Oola floated near the coral reef, they heard a thrum, thrum, thrum sound, low and steady, like a heartbeat in the deep. Oola's ears perked up. Toola's whiskers twitched. "Something's coming," she whispered. They peeked through a curtain of seaweed and saw them, divers. Both had large masks that covered their face like a fishbowl. Tiny bubbles floated up through their breathing tubes. Oola squeaked and ducked behind Toola. "It's okay, little one," Toola said gently. "They're not sharks." The divers moved gently, not chasing or splashing. One of them pointed and waved at Toola and Oola. Toola remembered the stories from other sea creatures. "Humans don't live here," the sea lion once told her, "but sometimes they visit to look, to learn." She lifted her paw slowly in greeting. Oola peeked over her tail. The divers waved again and didn't come too close. Instead, they floated still, watching the otters with quiet wonder, like children seeing a magic trick. Then, just as slowly as they came, the divers swam away, bubbles trailing behind them like jellyfish pearls. Oola blinked. "They weren't scary at all," he said. Toola smiled. "Not all new things are. Sometimes they're just curious, like you." Later that night, as they drifted to sleep, Toola whispered, "The sea is full of surprises, Oola. Some float down from above, and some swim right up to meet you." Even though Toola hadn't planned to be a mama, she knew she and Oola had found each other right when they needed love the most. The end.